The last time Newcastle won 3 consecutive Premier League away games, Alan Shearer was playing 20 years ago. They've got the opportunity.
No surprise there, Steve. You sound very surprised.
It's a long time ago.
It's a very long time. I had a bit of hair back then, yeah.
But that's the length of their run at the moment and what they could do today.
Yeah, they've been on a superb run, and I said at the top of the programme that the guy we've just heard from, the manager, Eddie Howe, deserves a lot of credit for that, because he certainly, without doubt, I know they spent money in January, and I know they brought new players in, but he's had an effect on the whole football club and in the dressing room in terms of what he's brought in, but also the players that have been there. You've seen a different attitude, you've seen different performances, you've seen a different standard of performance from the whole football club. There's a positivity that's now there, there's a belief that's now there. This fixture 6 or 7 months ago, they would have been dreading it, I'm sure of it. But they can go into it, they can play with a bit of freedom. They're not safe yet, but they're almost there in terms of the results that they've had in the past few games. And the way they went to Southampton and performed without the ball, and I think that's going to be the key today, because Chelsea are going to have a lot of the ball. They're going to have to show their togetherness. It's a different system. New players or different players have come into the team, so it'll be a big test for them to do.
Glenn, I just want to pick up on something Eddie Howe said, and he said it a few times when he was sitting in these chairs when he was out of the game with us, and it's something you liked as well, is developing the players that were already there, getting inside their mind on a training ground. How important is that in the man management side? When you see some of the Newcastle players playing now compared to the way they were playing under Steve Bruce?
Well, one, it's got to be stuff that players take on board and think, actually, yeah, he's making me a better player here. No one's ever told me that before. So individually that work is important, because he can see something in a player sometimes that the player can't see himself, or it's because of the lack of confidence that a player goes through, and Newcastle players were going through it, they're not showing it. So I think that's very good. That's why I said that it was a stop-start for Eddie at the beginning. He had COVID, if you remember, he had some injuries. It was very bitty with everything that was going on, and it was frustrating for him. He's been given that time, like Alan says, done a fantastic job, because he's done that man one-to-one work, but he's looked at people like Fraser, who he knows inside out, and he's said, hey, you're not doing this. You were doing this at Bournemouth. You're not doing it now. Look at it. Go back to what you were doing. The other new player... Sorry?
Willock,
yeah. For instance. There's a lot of players. I think Shelvey was one. He's not playing today, but Shelvey was one that he's gone in there and said, you're a good footballer. I like good footballers in my team. I'm going to put my hat on you. Yeah, your deficiencies are the X, Y, Z, but we can cope with that. So suddenly Shelby becomes a different player. So he's gone right the way individually through the team, and then as a manager, then he's got to put the side, the shape, the pattern of play together. So there was so much work to do. He's done it in such a short period of time. It's been a wonderful job that he's done to get on the run that he has.
Have you got experience of this from a player's point of view, of a manager just changing things in the side? I mean, this is a team that had 5 points from the first 33.
Yeah, and you've only got to look at someone like Joel Linton as well, you know, to see how much confidence he now has compared to before. But yeah, I remember like Brendan Rodgers coming into Swansea. Everyone's when a new manager comes in, everyone, does he like me? Does he not like me? What's going to happen? And he just kind of sat everyone down and said, right, I know you're all good players. You don't have to prove anything to me. I'm here for you. And I think that's kind of the same, you know, similar thing that Eddie Howe's done. He said he recognises they're good players, or else they wouldn't be there. They're low on confidence. I'm going to give you a framework to play within, and you go and express yourself within that. And to be fair to the players, that, you know, they've gone and done it.
I think is for the last 4 or 5 games, they've done it without Trippier, who was magnificent when he first came in. They've done it without Callum Wilson, their best centre forward. They've done it without San Maximum. So 3 of their best players have been on that run without them.